What up, YouTube? I'm Rico Knows. I'm going to talk to you guys about UFC, man. We have a fight night this weekend. Shout out to us. The main event, Lerone Murphy, undefeated Lerone Murphy versus Josh Emmett. I'll be talking about that in another video. But in this video, I always give away the first fight of the night for free. Now, shout out to the MVPs. Shout out to the people who are on the channel. Look, you follow me on YouTube. That's cool. You're going to get the free videos. But if you're an MVP, if you hit that join button, if you go to Patreon and you become one of our members, we have like over 6,000 members on Patreon. Shout out to all the guys, man. We're doing it big. Let me show you guys something. I don't want to brag. I don't mean to brag. But let's go there. How did last week look? I heard some guys on the internet talking like they did good last week. They did amazing. Bro, there's 29 plays on this chart. 29 in green. We missed 4. We missed 4. You can't see them. 2 of them are behind my picture here. I'll make sure my picture's smaller for the next video. I don't give a shit, bro. Eat it, and we went amazing. We went amazing on this card. We did everything right. 4-0 on parlays, 11-1 on money lines, and I did not pick Vic Pichel here, this dude. I went over here and told you take Garcia by points. It's in black. Black is a higher priority order than the value bets, right? We have green, black, and purple. If you're an MVP, you know the color scheme. Anyways, we'll get off that shit. Let's talk about this next fight card. So in the first fight of the night, we got a chick fight. I know MVPs. You see girls and you're like, yo, I'm not going to bet on them. Good. That's a good rule to have. And in this particular card, there's a lot of girl fights. And I might have to tell you to bet them or something like that. You know, it is what it is. But in this particular fight, we're getting even odds. It says 105 and 115 on the sports book this morning. It's currently at 113. So this is a pick'em fight, and rightfully so. And if you're picking anybody, it's terrible fighters. Terrible fighters. Both of them. I don't care. The announcers are going to gas both these girls like they're great. I don't know what it is. They have a relationship with these girls. They know them. They're like, yo, Vanessa, I rolled with Vanessa 3 months ago, and she's amazing in the gym. She's a really well-established, blah, blah, blah. Shut up, okay? This is one of the lowest level female fights you'll see in this world. They're both 115 pounds, tiny little women, and they're aged. They're old, man. They're 34 and 36 years old. These chicks, I'm telling you, they were in the club and Pitbull was on, bruh. They should not be fighting anymore. We're going to start with Talita Alencar. How bad is Talita Alencar? Well, they tell me she was an undefeated fighter until she started coming to the UFC. We had this draw on the Contender Series where she won the first 2 rounds with control time, then gets 10-8'd in the last round, and that's how we end up here with a draw. So then you fight, you get a late second call to be on a real card. You go out there and fight Rayanne Dos Santos, who's another Contender Series caliber fighter. You beat her. Okay. By split decision. You go watch the fight, man. Dos Santos, this girl, Rayanne, is throwing so much better than Talita Alencar. She's just not real, bro. Talita Alencar is this little girl. She kind of hops in her stance. She's hopping, and she throws this long front kick from the rear boob to create space. She makes sounds with everything. Nothing's hard. Nothing's doing. She never knocked anybody out in her life. It's because she's a jiu-jitsu practitioner, Rico. She's a world-class jiu-jitsu girl. She's a nerd. She's a jiu-jitsu nerd. Pull guard. Win by some points. I don't like this chick at all, man. She's so bad. She made Stephanie Luciano look like a world beater to the point where I'm like, yo, Stephanie's going to do this thing. And what happened to Stephanie in her last fight? She got outdogged. And she got outdogged and she lost. So I've watched this girl, Talita. She lost 30-27 to Luciano in the rematch. 30-27 and looked hapless. She's a low output, non-stand-up fighter. Okay, she's never landed more than 60 strikes in a fight, like something like that. I've never seen her throw shit. Okay, non-stand-up fighter, and they tell me her grappling's elite. She's a world-class, she's a world champion. They're going to tell me a 5-time world champion. Who the fuck was in that tournament? You beat 3 people on the street in Brazil, and now you're a world champion. I don't know how they're giving out these belts. I don't know what competition they're winning and who's in it. Because if you did that, then why the fuck haven't you beat anybody with a submission since 2022? It's been a long time. It's been 3 years. And your first fights were all rear naked chokes. Okay, on the regional scene. 3 rear naked chokes in a row. We haven't seen you submit anyone. So if you're not submitting anyone, and your only skill set is jiu-jitsu, then we're just talking about control time. And she's not doing any damage in control time. She's not throwing elbows from there. She's not doing anything. Yes, she's on top. She doesn't have heavy hips. She doesn't even have heavy hips. I see her get raised up. You can kind of sweep her if you want. You can get up. This is just a little girl who might get a takedown from the clinch. She'll do a little trip. She's not a wrestler. She's going to be clinched up against the cage. She's little, and she's going to get those double underhooks, and then she'll get an inside leg trip and be on top, and then we're there. And then that's the round. So if you're going to bet on her, you got to bet on her and say take her by points. It's a plus 140. Alencar by points is a plus 140. Here it is. It's right here. But I'm telling you, how bad are these judges in 2025? How bad are they? You can't really believe in them at all. Like the judges, if you're going to the judges, I don't want to hear about somebody being a big favorite. You know what I'm saying? If I look at a guy and he's a minus 500, and I'm like, well, it's going to the judges. He's not going to get a finish? What? Pfft, you can't be minus 500. Not with these judges. So this one at least is a pick 'em. But if you're going to pick somebody, you're going to pick Talita Alencar, who is terrible on her feet, low volume, and they tell me she's a grappler. She's grappling nobody. She's doing nothing but laying on top of people. I mean, it's bad. This is like Raul Rosas without the jaw, right? She's just bad. But she's not even as good as Raul. Raul's more dominant, more control, and he's a man. Right? These women can't do it, bro. Okay, Vanessa Demopoulos? Demopoulos? Yeah. Vanessa Demopoulos. A lot of the guys like her. She speaks English, right? She's American. A lot of guys like her. They think she's pretty and whatnot. I think they think of her as like the girl next door. She's pretty in the type of way, like it's not unrealistic. Like maybe if I met her at the supermarket, she'd be willing to date me type deal. If only she knew who I was, we'd probably be an item. You know, I've seen her work out in the gym. She's very flexible. Oh my God. See the way she puts those ankles behind her head? Oh man, she's got a flexible guard, Rico. She got that high guard, the rubber guard. Ooh, I want to get in her rubber guard. Bro, shut up. If there's anything about this girl is she's kind of tough. She bites down on her mouthpiece and she lets it rain. She's going to go out there and bang. She's knocking no one out. She's knocking no one out. She ain't got it. And it's part of this is like, I feel like she gets too much credit for her grappling acumen. If we saw Vanessa in this fight against Jacqueline Amorim, now you go watch it. It'll piss you off if you're paying attention. Jacqueline reaches her hands inside this girl's glove, readjusts herself, and gets the finish, right? And it's a shady move, man. It's terrible. Don't be doing that shit. So Jacqueline cheats. But if you're not cheating, you're not trying, right? Jacqueline cheats. I see cage grabs all the time, defending against a takedown and whatnot. So Jacqueline cheats, but she moves right through Vanessa on the ground like a hot knife through butter. So if you're a world-class jiu-jitsu champion, you should be going right at Vanessa and cutting right through everything. But how do we get to the ground? Well, I don't know how we're going to get that takedown. That's your business, right? Vanessa's going to throw. Vanessa's got a lot of volume. She's going to look more active on the feet. Every round starts on your feet. As long as she can defend the takedown and not get taken down, she'll be okay. Now, Alencar is going to... I saw her shoot over 20 takedowns in a fight before because she has nothing else she can do. She can't strike. She's just going to keep reaching for a single. She just bends over at the waist to get it, too. She doesn't like... You're like, oh, is she doing a high seat, a high crotch? Is she doing that? No. She just bends over at the waist. She never duck walked in her life. She never changes levels when she shoots. She's never done anything. You can see people who are trained in wrestling in America, right? You can see what we look like when we're in the cage, as opposed to somebody who's like a jiu-jitsu person. They just want to hang on to the back of your neck, like you're slow dancing and shit, and then they're going to wrap their legs around you like it's a movie. Yeah, that's called pulling guard. Fucking nerds. But Vanessa, if she can defend that takedown and defend that position, she'll be okay. She'll be okay, but let's not get too carried away. She doesn't win fights in a dominant fashion at all. She's going to... The last time she won, obviously, 2022 with the submission here. But most of the time, it's split decisions. We're going to judges. So, the lock here is we're going the distance. That's the lock. We're going the distance. Obviously, it's like a minus 400 or something. You can parlay it with something else. And you're going to be hard-pressed to make a lot of money on this card. Some of these odds are out of control. And it's going to be tough. You got to pick and choose your spots. In this particular fight, for example, it's a coin flip. And in my coin flip, I'm going to take Vanessa. But I need you to understand, I'm only taking her because she's dominant. Like, she's active. I've watched Vanessa in a fight against Emily Ducati here. She went out there as an underdog, a plus 360 underdog. She was supposed to get controlled and beat up and everything. And what did she do? She went out there and landed 126 total strikes. I've never seen Talita Alencar put out that kind of output. So I know it's in Vanessa to go out there and bang and throw them things. And in the apex, where we can hear everything, all those punches are just going to be flying, and she's going to go out there and she's going to go out there and respect your coin. She's going to try. Now, if she gets taken down, Talita Alencar is supposed to be able to walk through her and do all this stuff. Cool, man. I'll believe it when I see it. I think Vanessa, in preparation for this fight, you're not sparring and doing rounds and working on your boxing the way you would if you were facing a striker. I'd say in preparation for this fight and in camp, she's worked a lot on defensive grappling, takedown defense, things of that nature, right? Keeping your hands a little lower this time to catch the shot and maybe have to sprawl and things. So I feel like Vanessa, theoretically, if you're training for this, and Extreme Couture is a great team for wrestling, right? I feel like she should be prepared for this fight. And so fight camps matter. I feel like she should be prepared for this fight. She's going to have the right output when she's striking. It's still a pick 'em fight. Don't get this crazy. Like, I'm giving this away for free. I'm talking confidently about this girl. I watched this girl get absolutely steamrolled on the mat by Amorim here. And then I've watched her go into fights where we're banging back and forth. And she seems to win over the judges just because she's more active, because she's pushing forward. And when you're pushing forward, it's a good thing. When you're pushing forward, the defender, the person who's trying to defend against those strikes, they can't take that shot. You can't do it. You're backpedaling. You're walking backwards. You can't change direction and change level and go get it. Usually, the wrestlers are going to shoot when they're walking forward. Walking backwards, unless we're tied up in a clinch here and we're walking back, and you do a fireman's or a duck under, like, unless you have a wrestling acumen when you're tied up, these girls ain't like that. They're not built like that. Okay, they're not built for the moment in that regard. So give me Vanessa to come out here, be aggressive, win most of the fight as far as minutes go. But if she gets taken down and she can't get back up and she loses a round because of it, be ready for the live bet, MVPs. Be ready for it. But I feel comfortable saying Vanessa. Obviously, the money line's at minus 113. There's a little more value here if you go Vanessa by points. The reason you can't just do Alencar by points theoretically is she's supposed to win by submission if it were to happen. But I've never seen her do that. So I'm not even going to say plus 750 here. But Vanessa, plus 140, it sounds like a decent bet to make. It's a coin flip, and getting coin flip probability, but plus 140 odds is a value. So that's where I'm at on this. I'll show you guys the chart. Remember, if you become an MVP, you're going to watch me fill in this chart with every single video. I make a video for every single fight just like this, where I break down the fighters and I talk about their historical performances and all that other stuff. But more importantly, just understand that we are right. I'm going to zoom in on this. I'm sorry. I'll make myself smaller in the next video. But I've got it a lock going the distance. It shouldn't be a lock that Vanessa's winning by points. That's actually a value bet. I apologize, because it is plus 140. You're getting positive money for that. Just remember, value bets are currently at 44%. So this one's tough. And if it's a lean, because it's in black, a lean, we're hitting that at 64%. If I manage to make it green, that means it's a lock and we're hitting those at 65. Usually our locks are 85%. Or I'm sorry, 83%. At least they were all last year. Trying to bounce back off the mat. We had a bad run here for a couple of weeks. And that's what's been hurting us in 2025. It's life. We'll get after it. The law of averages will work itself out. Nonetheless, thank you for being MVPs. Shout out to all the people watching the video. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.